Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be the beginning of taking the Nova apart to get everything ready for the new car. Unfortunately, the video I recorded before I started got deleted, so that intro is gone into the abyss. So yeah, I mean, I already started on it, but instead of me flapping my lips, I'm going to just jump straight into it. So, alright, enjoy. Alright, let's get these. Those are a little snug. It's a good thing. It means it wasn't going to fly apart. Now my luck is there's going to be a ton of pressure on the spring and it's going to clang. I'm going to take it out. Let's hope that's not the case. What should we do here? Should we just send it? I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to send it and hope for the best. Man, that's going to take 7 light years to do that. Let me go get something faster. Removing the unit. Oh no. Oh man. Come on now. Uh-oh, we're at the last second. Oh! Maybe. Well, it didn't go to the stratosphere, that's good. But let me put a pry bar in it and see if I can make it do that. And sketchiness. Oh yeah, it's got some tension on it. This might not be a good idea. Oh yeah. God damn, look at that. Jeepers Christ. Man, that's still got some freaking tension on it. So that's, note to self, that's going to be interesting getting those back in there. You know what I should do is just take them out all the way. Wouldn't that be the right way to do it? Yeah, it probably would be. Let's do that. I feel like when I let this down, it's going to... We don't need to do that. So, yeah, it's not... Yeah, it's already scratching the paint now. Can't be doing that. Is that welded to it? It's glued itself to the header. Yeah, let me climb under there and do that. Alright. Got that bad boy out. Put the bolts back in there. So basically, it's going to be the same process on the other side. We're going to delete. Lift this up. Oh my, look at that travel. Yeah, so we'll do the same thing on the other side. I've already put myself in a predicament. I knew it wasn't going to work, but I did it anyways. Now, retro. Now I'm going to have to try to run that back in there, which I don't think that's going to work. But yeah, I'm going to have to try to get this off, and then, yeah, I don't know. Figure it out. Got it off. Now I'm back banished to the poor man's tools, unfortunately. You know, I'll see you guys in 2027 when I get the shock out. Man, come on now. So finally got that out. That was a pain. I may or may not have brokified that bolt or chewed the threads up. And this little bracket got a little because I got my ratchet stuck in here. So yeah, we're gonna have to straighten that bad boy out. You can see how crooked it is. But so now I'm gonna start, I guess, cutting zip ties and kind of disconnecting wiring and whatnot so that I can kind of see, I guess, what all needs to be disconnected. On this side, I'm going to have to redo the strap. One of the times, the second race that we had it in, it left so hard it ripped the limiting strap off the driver's side. So that's pretty cool. I'll have to adjust the weight on that. We'll probably end up doing a different setup here, something a little bit beefier. But yeah, so I guess we'll start doing the thing. Alright, I'm probably going to get some grief over the tape, but I marked all the injectolator plugs just to make sure I don't mix them up. When I put them back in, I have a hard time remembering things. So I know they're color coded, okay, before I hear about it. But, you know, here we are. So, wiring pretty much is disconnected all the way through. I've kind of just flopped everything back there for right now. I got to drop the starter and disconnect all the wires off the starter. And I think at that point I should be able to kind of fish everything back through the firewall and have all the wiring inside the car. That way when we pull it, we're not pulling plugs off or, you know, break-a-lating stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. And then fuel system, basically, there's two, you can't even see it. These two
Do you even listen to yourself when you talk?
These two lines here run back to an auxiliary tank in the back, but the fuel system is all self-contained right here. It's got a mechanical pump and everything. So I should be able to just pop those two lines and just kind of lay them off to the side and leave the fuel system complete when I roll this out, hopefully. And then pop the throttle cable off and, you know what I mean? I'm going to attempt to remove the steering column, which looks to prove fairly difficult because I think they welded that on there. So, it's got me. I think I'm going to have to disconnect it off the rack up there and then fish that whole thing through. So it looks like the steering column, it's an aftermarket one, is on this plate here. It looks like they tack weld or ran little beads around it to weld it to that plate and then bolted it to the firewall. And they welded the heim joint to the shaft and then welded the other two. So I think the only place to disconnect it is the steering rack and then unbolt it and slide the whole thing out as one, is what it looks like. So that's going to be difficult since I can't get the driver door open. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Stop crying like a little girl.
I know I'm committing a cardinal sin right now by using a normal wrench on AN lines, but you know what? Whatever.
Thug life.
I don't have any AN wrenches right now, so yeah. We're going to just undo these fittings with normal wrenches and hear about it later. I kind of want to just get everything out of here first, and then I can focus on getting everything off of the firewall, per se, and work on getting everything that I need off. So, took a break from it for a little bit and some other stuff going on, but we're back on this today. So I think where I left off was the steering column needs to come out. Need to disconnect the shifter, transmission lines, and then I apologize if the audio is different. My microphone cracked out. So it is what it is. Let's start getting this thing out. Oh, I should have probably grabbed the socket, but you know me. Let's do it the hard way. We got air conditioning running in here, but for some reason it's unbelievably hot in this car. Don't ask me why. It just is. Man, I took all them bolts off, but it's gonna fight me, huh? Huh? That steering column is light. No, it's not good enough. Very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Oh, look at that. Steering column rotator is loose. But obviously this thing's not gonna slide off, I don't think. So that kind of sucks because we could have just slid this outer tube off and then left all this stuff connected and just pushed through the firewall. Problem is the bottom flopper joint, the jam nut, is completely rounded. It's no longer nut shaped. It is like basically like a high lock collar. And so I can't really get that off. This thing is light though. Don't weigh nothing. Because race cars. Probably be easy to take. That was already been loose. It done been loose. What's going on here? We're gonna clean up a lot of this wiring in the new car so that it looks like somebody besides me put it together. Somebody who's good at it. And I'm gonna take that off too, huh? Oh damn. Did I take this off up here? I'm gonna have to take it off anyways, I guess. So. I wouldn't mind having this up here. You know what I mean? And I want to move these up here as well as a parachute mount. So you can push it and shut the car off in one motion. Just in case she gets a little squirrely. We're not hitting here and then pushing here. It's one fluid motion. You know what I mean? We got a lot of wiring to disconnect. It's going to be interesting. I'd like to try to not disconnect as much wiring as I can. Just kind of leave it all one. And then new car. And just kind of reattach stuff. Not have to depin everything or disconnect everything from the panel. It'd be a lot easier to do it that way. But we'll see. It's probably not going to work the way I want it to. And then we'll go from there. Box acquired. Those bad boys in here. Probably should save the nuts. I guess we'll put it back like that. That's fine. It's fine. It is fine. We're going to use the car as a lawn ornament anyways. What do we have here? Neutral switch and the transfer switch. So if you look, and I just cut a slit in the floor right up there and peeled that back so I could get the cable and all the brackets and everything through the floor and kind of take it all as one unit. Now, you might be wondering why I'm trying to keep that kind of stuff in one piece. I got a lot to do on this car, and my thought process is the less stuff I got to try to, adjust or tinker with to get to work, like the shifter cable being one of them. If I take it out, it's going to be really close to where it's supposed to be, so I can make a little fine-tune adjustments when it's in the next car, but I'm not starting from scratch, taking it all apart. So that kind of little stuff will save a little bit of time putting it back together. Everything in this car worked beautifully. I mean, like, awesome. So there's no reason to take things apart and restart putting it back together, if that makes sense. Yeah, there's a bunch of glass in here. I feel like I'm going to get some right in the cheeks. Okay, well, I'm going to try to cut it as far back as I can, so it's easier to tie the new cage in. But, yeah, there's no going back now. This is it. Let's go for it. Well, that one moved a little bit. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen. It went bang! I think that's because I think this whole cage got pushed over, to be honest. That backside definitely did, because it wrinkled the floor, and you can see where the cage came inward. So I'm assuming what it did is it went like this with the cage. So I think that's probably where its natural state's supposed to be, is right there. But yeah. Well, next. See how that one didn't ding? Yeah. What I suspected. Other side's tweaked a little bit. Man, those blades took forever to get through. Them suckers are $20 a pop. Didn't really cut very fast, so not impressed. Not impressed at all with those. So this is what I'm fighting. You can see right there, the nut is no longer a nut, and the broken Allen key in there was my attempt to try to get it loose. So yeah, and where it's at, there's really not a whole lot of room in here to get anything back here to take this off. And I do not have my whatchamacallits extractors for rounded nuts here. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this yet, to be honest. I got to think on this for a second. My welder's out of gas, unfortunately, so I can't weld a nut on it. You know, I might end up, I really don't want to cut those universal joints because those little things are expensive. They're like $80. So if I can avoid that, I don't really want to take it apart either. I don't know. So I might end up cutting the shaft up there just so I can get this out, and then I can mess around with this on the bench to get that off, and then re-weld it. Bzzz, duct tape, bzzz, Bondo, bzzz, duct tape. Good. Cut that. Steering column is floating in there now. So that's all discoed. I got the training lines off. Make sure you bag these, folks. Keeps the contaminants out of it. And yeah, so I don't know. If my math is kind of a little bit micro correct, we should be good to go. Besides the two body mount bolts, I think that's all of it, actually. The driveline, I'm gonna just try to pull it out and leave the driveline in it for now, because I'm gonna have to get the car back up in the air and take it out. It's got a driveline loop, so it'll just kind of lay in the car. But yeah, we're gonna just try to. All right, this is where we're at. So transmission, all that stuff's disconnected. The lines, everything's disconnected. Tubes are cut. I got blocks of wood on both sides, just past the, basically on top of the body mount. They, when they railed this car, they plated all the way around it, which covered the body mount so I can't get to the bolt. Instead of spending 4 hours trying to cut that out and get the bolt out, what I'm gonna do is just cut about 2 inches forward of the body mount on both sides, and I'll sleeve the subframe and put a cut a hole in it with a hole saw on both sides, slide a tube through it with a plate on top, and re-weld it top and bottom so I can still get the bolt in and out, but it'll be just as strong. So anyways, that's the plan for that stuff. So this is pretty much on bump stops. It's just a hair above it. I got the floor jack underneath the frame rail on that side. I have there's another obviously blocking wood on this side, but I have a caster underneath the transmission and transmission cross member. So I'm hoping when I cut this, it doesn't just fall, that the jack will hold it for a little bit and I can set it down on top of that and we can roll it out. That's the plan. Is it gonna work? Probably not, but we're gonna give her hell and see what happens. Zip tie. I have a feeling this thing's gonna fall on my face when it comes out. Bear with me, y'all. I might end up getting mixed smashed. Yeah, I don't know about that one, Chief. I want to wait. Let me see if I can support. Come on. On my way now. Get out of my way now. That's not how the song goes. Alright. That makes me feel a little bit better. One. There's two. Come on, mate. Just like that. Well, there you have it. This probably isn't the right way to do it, but this is the way I'm doing it. Lopped. And I'm going to clean these up and we'll make these a little bit better. Basically, I'll just stick a tube inside of here, sleeve it, probably about to here on both sides, plug weld all these spots, and then around that, weld the bottom, you know, the thing. And then re-rail the car, both sides. That one's a little crooked, I'm gonna fix that. But yeah, I mean, besides that, I really didn't have to cut anything out to get this out. So it's kind of cool. The firewall's pretty much intact. All this stuff I'll have to work on getting off and getting kind of in a pile ready for the next one. But yeah, there she is. It's a pretty big step today. And yeah, like I said, we're just gonna roll it right underneath the other one and we'll tie everything into that car. I really wanted to leave these on here so that I knew when I rolled this to the car where in the firewall I needed to cut to make this go through, because I really didn't want to have to redo all the suspension stuff and tubing. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff up front in this car. The cross member is pretty heavily worked with all the steering rack stuff and everything, and you know, it's just more time that I don't really have to put into this. So this is my best attempt to try to save time putting it in the new car. So here we are. All right, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to take these videos and kind of keep them a little shorter. I'm going to do my best to kind of keep all these videos fairly short, to the point, kind of, you know, enjoyable, but not super long. So I'll make another part about getting the rear end out and getting everything else, seat and all that kind of stuff out. And then we'll just keep making content and keep moving forward. I'm hoping to have this car done as quick as I can, at least get it back together, and we can start doing the cage, the paint, the whole 9 yards. But for right now, we just got to get everything out. That's really the main goal. And then we can start addressing what we need to do to get it back in. So, but yeah, that's going to be the end of this one. Thank you guys. Like and subscribe, share please. See you in the next one.